Hello there and welcome to another tutorial from AKCP. Today we're going to be looking at AKCess Pro, and in particular how to add maps to AKCess Pro and actually add data or sensor data to those maps. So let's jump in and get started. So we have our main interface open of AKCess Pro here, and you can see that I have the Maps tab selected in the Server Explorer window, so you want to go ahead and do that. And now what we need to do is we want to add a map. So in order to do that we need to click Options, Add Map. And this brings up our Add Map wizard, and the first thing we need to do to really get this going is actually add our map. So you need to make sure that you've already got your map pre-selected, whether you've got that from Google Maps, Google Earth, or maybe you actually have a map that you can scan in yourself. I'm going to go ahead and click Browse. I'm going to scroll down until I find my map, which is here, and click Open. And there we can see a preview of the map, and I'm going to go ahead and click Next. So on the next one we can choose to enter the map name. So on this particular instance I'm going to change this to Test Map and click Finish. And there you can see that we have our map completed. Now you'll notice that we have the large image of the map right here, but then we also have a smaller version of the map right here. And by clicking and dragging around in this map, you can see that we can move around the map. Or if we actually use the scroll wheel in the middle of the mouse, we can actually zoom in and zoom out. And if we drag the corner of this window, we can drag this out and make the map a little bigger as well. So there we have our map. So what we're going to do is, as this map has now been added, you can see that in the Map tab in the Server Explorer window it says Test Map, but at the moment the map is automatically appearing in the Security Probe window. So let's click off this map. We're going to create a new desktop, and we'll rename this desktop Maps. We'll right click, rename, and we'll rename that Maps. And now we're going to drag this test map onto the map desktop, so everything is a bit cleaner as before. Make that a little bit bigger. So now what we want to do is we want to add some sensor data to this map. So in order to do that, we're going to go to our Sensors tab in the Server Explorer window, go down to our Testing Sec, and here we have the airflow and the temperature on port 1. And all you need to do to add these to the map is simply drag and drop them. So on this one, let's put this on B right here. So you can see that we have a little black dot, and if we scroll over that black dot, it will actually give us the temperature and it will give us the data of that particular sensor. So now let's add a camera. So we're going to go to the Cameras tab, go to V1, and we'll drag this also onto B. So now we have these two dots, and you can see that straight away it gives us a live video of that particular camera. But let's go ahead and let's just customize these a little bit now. So let's start with the temperature, right click and Properties. And here we can choose the icon type. We can have a standard shape, an area polygon, or we can have an image. For this one, let's have a standard shape. Let's click Next. We'll leave it as a circle, but let's change the circle color. So let's change the normal. Let's change it to blue because it stands out a little bit better if we do that. So we click OK and Next. That's fine. Let's change this to, let's say small. It's a little bit bigger. Next. We can also make this icon default for following types of sensors, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave that as it is right now and click Finish. So now we have a larger blue flashing circle of the temperature, which is normal. As you can see, it stands out a little bit more. So now let's go to the camera and let's customize this a little bit. Properties. And again, it's going to take us through to exactly the same thing. We'll leave it as a standard shape rather than adding a polygon or a custom image. We'll click Next. Rather than have a circle, let's change this one to a square. And for the normal, rather than black, let's change it to green this time, and we'll click OK. Now let's click Next. Again, let's change this to small rather than extra small. Click Next. We can make this the default icon for the following types. In this case we can add multiple cameras, but we'll leave it as it is, and we'll click Finish. Excellent. So now we have these two icons which are flashing away, and if we roll over them you can see we have the live video, or it can instantly give us the data of that particular sensor. And essentially that's all there is to it, to add a map and access some of the sensor data within the map. So I hope you find this tutorial useful.